Hello, Sean again. It's been a long time since I've popped the painting up. Must be good 6 months, I think. Probably longer, I don't know. I can't keep up. But I'm enjoying my retirement. And here I am out here in rural Norfolk. You can see the view behind me. I'm going to do a typical Norfolk scene. We've got a nice little gate over there. And behind me here, we've got a typical Norfolk bridge. I'll show you that. So this bridge interests me. We've got a river going under there. I'm not so sure about that. We have this typical Seago type gate, Edward Seago type gate. With the trees coming up, look, beautiful. So we'll see how we go. Lovely shadows across the road, could probably use those. And also further back, there was an further back along that way, there was an absolutely beautiful Norfolk cottage, which I might utilise some of that. And you can hear, as always, here out in Norfolk, I'm quite near Oxborough Hall. We've got the planes going over from Mildenhall. So first things first, going to spray up my paints. It's been a while since these have been out, and this should do it on a hot day like today, as long as we get plenty of water in there, keep them out of the direct sunlight. We'll be okay. So I'm aiming to get this done easily within half an hour. So we're just gonna crack on with it. This is a number 8 mop brush, and you can see the palette of colours that I've got here. It's a beautiful day. We're going to pop in a bit of blue. That's a bit of ultramarine, and there's a couple of parts breaking through here and there. There are a lot of clouds, and they get much grayer as we come down the bottom. So we'll just pop in coming down here, and then it gets warmer as we come in onto the horizon, and that's it. And it's going to dry quickly. We're not going to mess around. When you're outdoors on a hot day like today, you can't mess about. There are a few grey touches there. I'm looking, peering through the trees and seeing what I can see. Just want to shape up some of these clouds here. There we go. That'll do it. Done. I'm not bothered about that bit there. The splashes, I never care about them. We pop them in there. All this running down of this this yellow ochre is not a problem. That'll all add. There's a cornfield I can see off the back there, so that's perfect. And we'll just wash in a touch more of this. We'll leave a few gaps through. Kind of we're going to go for burnt sienna as a run in here. Just warm this up a little bit, and we'll leave that to dry. That's the first stage done. So here we go again. Sun's kind of gone in, which is nice because it gives a bit of shade, but this is fully dry basically. And we're going to pop in some distance here. Just straight in. This is a nice little mixture. Using an Artway brush, which is a little mop brush. And that's kind of it. I don't want to do too much on there. I say a nice little mixture. It was cobalt blue basically, there was a touch of accidental ultramarine. No worries. And then just clear water on this brush, because I don't want that to be too straight an edge there. That will just blend and bleed down. Something I do a lot on horizons, that'll just blend in. You'll get that kind of blended effect. The key, guys, is not to go back into stuff. Even if the shape doesn't match what you've got in front of you in terms of these tree lines, don't go back in. Resist the urge, because you want it nice and fresh, okay? And that's that. What we've got was beautiful. We've got some of this yellow ochre coming through the greys, which is beautiful. Okay, so we'll need to wait for that to dry before we start moving into this, which won't take very long. I'll go back into this larger mop brush, this number 8. This is a Pro Art, I think. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. And then I'm gonna pop in, I keep dropping bits of paint around. I'm going to pop in some just slightly warmer, same mixture here, but with a touch of grey, which will kind of green it up a bit. Greeny grey it up, and we'll start from the bottom, work up. We don't want it the same everywhere. You just want to get it swished in quick, leaving a few gaps, suggest a few bits of foliage, really, grasses coming in, all of that stuff. But that's kind of, you just got to get some value in there. We're not worried about detail there. The focal point of this picture is obviously here. We've got these couple of trees going up, and then we've got this gate and the paths leading the eye around there. I'll probably also put a figure in or two, or maybe someone walking a dog. Not sure yet. I didn't go for the house in the end, because this just seemed to work better. Popping in my greasy fingerprints in there, look, that can always create some nice effects while it's damp. And let's just the same mixture again back into all those leftovers that were ever there. Just going to warm this up touch here, just let it blend and bleed in. Very tip of the brush, look, just going down. Don't need to fuss with this stuff, just get it in quick. Nothing that's bleeding over like that. It's just clear water. I'm popping in there where this pathway is, just to get that out. And of course, I have to decide where the shadows are. In reality, the shadows are kind of behind me. The sun's behind me, but I don't want to make use of shadows coming across. So probably coming across this way, because that's the biggest patch there. So I'm ready for stage 3, which is to get this tree done. I think I'll probably just go with a number 2. So at the moment, we're going to use 2 brushes. Go with this number 2 Artway. It's a synthetic mop brush. It's nice. Works really well. Now I want to utilize the natural, I was going to say space, but that's nonsense. There we go. See that? Quick, done. Not messing around. The other thing I do need to do is I need to make sure that that's not, let's just pop that in there for the moment. I'll run that off down the bottom with some clear water, because I don't want that to have edges on it. So that was the right hand tree. The left hand tree I'm going to make slightly darker. So this was raw umber and a touch of Payne's grey, just to pop in. You can see it's going to be darker. And it's just getting the shape, and you can see me lifting off slightly as I go up with the brush. Sometimes you can kind of wiggle and get nice little effects as you go up. Just lifting off the pressure that you're putting down. So here, so we get it. Yep, see that? So the light is coming in that way, so I've got to go for shadows on this side, haven't we? And then there's a few branches coming off of here to make that mixture a little bit weaker. Can touch in a touch of a shadow. Not too worried about that. The main bit is to kind of design where you want the eye to go, if that makes sense. They're kind of insignificant vagaries. Just having a look at some of the energy of this tree, if I can. It's the same 2 colours basically. We'll go in with a sword liner. These are brilliant. This is a Tintoretto sword liner from Italy. Absolutely fantastic. They hold lots of liquid, but you can get really fine details and fine points with them, as you'll see. these kind of little, basically tiny little twigs coming out of this one, which is quite nice as a foil. So we'll pop those in, just a bit darker. There's one up there, one branch that's really in shadow here. So I'll pop that in and excuse the Mildenhall jets coming over. Probably a typhoon, or might it be an F-15. Conducting their usual military exercises out this way. And just a few vagaries in there. That's my favourite word of this painting, vagaries. But really it's just a little bit of dry brush with this sword liner. That we do have a bunch of bits here. This is kind of when, as it comes to the end of the painting, it's like you've got to focus in on your vision, really. Same brush, like same kind of shaky technique. Like by that I mean just, you can see what I'm doing, kind of wiggling it around, but this will hold a lot of liquid. And that's it. And the reason I'm doing that, there is something very similar here to my right hand side coming in from a tree, but the reason that I'm doing it is because I'm telling the eye to go there. Yep. Basically, that's what I'm doing. I just see that. Oh, let me just get rid of that. It's not a big deal. Just pop in some clear water and just let it run off. It will never be noticed. Same as here. Just, it's fine. Then we got to make this gate that's here pretty significant in terms of its tonal values. And there's some more kind of distant trees back here that I'm going to put in a kind of grey-green. Yeah, I'm going to put them in pretty quick. I need a lot of water for this though, and I need to get this mixture right. It's probably not the right brush. Let's go with a bigger one so I can mix up better. Let's put in some Payne's grey, touch of blue because that'll make it go backwards, touch of yellow ochre. Some of this apartheid green in, and we're just gonna, you can kind of see where the lines are, but I'm just roughly going down with the shapes, right? I'm gonna make sure I've got kind of little gaps in between as I come down. That would do. That's enough. So here's a little bit odd. Just sort that out. You just have to look at the tonal value. You can squint your eyes up and see where certain things are going to distract the eye. That means make the eye go where you don't want it to go. And I want everything to go here. Dark is dark, light is light, just here. And for that, I'm going to go in with a much smaller brush. This is a number 2. This is an Skoda. This little travel brush, they're brilliant. Just testing with the back of my finger that this is dry enough to put in. And this gate is basically a black metal gate. Oh, it keeps doing that, don't I? I don't know why I'm keeping that. Let's just get rid of that again. Some clear water. And I might need a bit of tissue just to get that out. Bit of a pain. Never mind, these things are all rescuable as long as you're kind of awake and you don't, especially in the hot sun, you can see the sun coming in here now. You don't want that to going too quick. Right, so there was a post there, and then there's kind of 3 parts to this gate coming in, and it comes up. And then we have a stanchion down there. We've got just going like that. Some of it you can see, some of it you can't see in terms of because of the grass. And then I'm just going to go in with some of this brown and pop that in here and dry brush. That's the post. And then there's another part of it coming across to where these trees are, really. That's kind of the way it goes. That's it. I'm stepping back from it. You can't see that, but I'm stepping back so I can see, get a better idea. That's just clear water again. Just want to not make anything kind of stick out weirdly. That'll dry really super fast. Gonna mix up nice little green, ultramarine, touch of what I've already got there, that green. This is a part like Genuine, that is from Daniel Smith. Beautiful for all these rushes that we've got in here. And there's a lot of them in and around Norfolk, especially in this time of the year. And I can go in neat as well, look, just a bit darker. Okay. And they're coming just kind of all over. And then we'll pop in some clear water. Just let it do its own thing. Oh look, got a little visitor, a little ladybird, look, bless him. Bless her. I should blow, go and fly away. Off you go. Oh, didn't go very far, did it? Well, you're welcome to stay there if you want. Just gotta get that little spillage out the way. It's the fun of painting outdoors, I tell you. The spillages, especially the way I paint, so messy and bold and all of that. Kind of happy with it so far. Just gonna finish off. Just make sure it's a bit watery. Same colour. Yeah, we've got these here. There's a lot there. You go right to the end. You can really get in some nice narrow, thin brush strokes. That's the word I was looking for. So we can get in there. Now I'm kind of doing artistic license, and what I want to do here is just blur this so the eye's going where it's sharper. You can see that it's just kind of suggesting what we've got there. The same as here. I don't need to worry too much about it. Just getting the values right. You can see the pathway coming around there, so that's all good. And I'm going to let that dry and then make a decision on the final part. So this should be the final stage. I've got the number 2 out. I'll pop the little figure in there. I don't know if you can see him. You will in a second. Just going to pop that guy in. Just here. Pop a head in. Gonna go blue, bright blue. In here. We're gonna go probably black, brown and black down here with some trousers. It's kind of coming over the gate, I know. And then I'm going to go in even darker This comes down here. We'll give him a bit of a stick to be walking with. Not a walking stick, but a stick that you would probably have. The dog coming down. And we'll make that bit a little bit vaguer. So this dog goes across there. By that I mean, I might just run some off of that. The head on here needs to be a bit bigger. And we can blend that in a touch. Coming down. I'm going to pop in some shadows. Let's get one there and there. Pop in some here. Come all over. It's a bit warm, ain't it?
I'll be joined in a minute. She'll buy the partners in a mini, but we've got on the end.
All right. Hello, dog.
Dan, come on out the way. Leave them alone.
Kind of virtually done. I'm just going to run that tree off of down here. They're coming up here. God, someone was biting my head. Ouch. That was a nasty little fly. Can't let these horse flies out here. But we just got one more final thing to sort out. And that final thing is the Wham Brilliant. And that's just going to pop in a couple of highlights into here. From there, don't need to go too mad. It's handy to have these in. Just need to make that dog a bit vaguer. Put in a couple more. Just in here. Kind of unifies everything up a little bit. I'll keep it suggesting. And we're done. Hopefully you enjoyed that one, and take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.